If you don't believe black people should be a nation, shut the fuck up. There's no nice way to put it. And I tried. Well, not very hard. Individualists, such as yourself, if this applies to you, shouldn't engage in collective discussions. Nationhood is about collective problem solving, collective organization, collective socio-economic and political infrastructure in the community. These are things that are more than just one single individual. This is how our group interacts with the environment that surrounds us, and how we do it socially, how we do it economically, and how we do it politically. So if you're only about yourself, and if you don't see black people as a nation of people, and you basically see us as a scattered group of individualists aligned strictly by aesthetic similarities, then drop all the cultural pretensions, lay down your cultural sword, prostrate before your masters, and merge into invisibility with the dominant white culture. I mean, I think that if you don't do that, it's very dishonest on your part and disingenuous to continue to keep talking about what's wrong with black people when philosophically you don't even believe in black people. Which leads me to a group of people that I like to refer to as the Cosbyites. And these are the people who co-sign Bill Cosby, and he telling the truth. Bill Cosby telling the truth, and all of this other stuff. Where do I start with this? I've been arguing about this and debating people and discussing this for over a year, ever since the rant actually happened. What pissed me off about the rant was not, just that I have a little personal history or personal knowledge about Bill Cosby, about Jesse Jackson, about Julius Irving, about Coca-Cola, about Philadelphia. And, I'm not going to kill a whole lot of this video going into that. But let's just say a lot of people talking a lot of this pull yourself up by your bootstraps nonsense didn't get their riches by pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, do a Google on Coca-Cola, a man by the name of Llewellyn, put in Bill Cosby's name, put in Reverend Jesse Jackson's name, and put in Julius Irving's name, and see how these three black men in particular amassed their wealth. But that's an aside. I just have one thing to say to the Bill Cosbyites. Black Wall Street. If you want to know what that is, look at my playlist on my channel. I have a playlist from someone else that did the video, but I put it on my playlist to give everyone some history on Black Wall Street in Tulsa. And more importantly, what happened to this community of black folks who pulled themselves up by the bootstraps, so much in fact that they outperformed the white towns around them and were very successful. Unfortunately, they didn't have an army to protect them from the white people, and what happened was white women did what, same thing in the movie, because that's what the movie was based on, and it escapes me for now. I don't remember. Oh, Rosewood. That's what it was based on, was on Black Wall Street. White woman accused a black man of raping her or molesting her or something. And of course they came and burnt down the whole town to the ground. And no white people went to jail. No white people suffered any penalties for what they did, but a lot of black people died. The usual. So that's all I have to say about the pull yourself up by your bootstraps contingent. I don't have a problem with people being personally responsible, but we're talking about two different issues when you start talking about nationhood and personal responsibility. Um, as far as I'm concerned, your personal responsibility should be toward the nation. Everything that you do affects the nation. Every way that you carry yourself affects your nation. How other people perceive you and how you interact with people outside of your nation. So if you don't believe in these concepts, stay out of the collective discussions. It's irritating to me. And I'm going to call you on it. I'm going to definitely call you on it. If you're not a nationalist, if you don't believe in nationhood, you don't believe in us coming together as a people to work on our problems without resorting to using excuses to justify what you secretly crave, which is white women's flesh or white man's flesh. You know, if you want to be with a white man or a white woman, I have more respect for you when you just say, I just happen to like blue eyes and blonde hair. I happen to like light skin and recessive genes. It's honest. I don't like dominant genes. I like recessive genes. I find them more attractive. Just say that. Because then you don't have to justify or have to put down black men in order to be with a white man or put down black women in order to be with a white woman. Just be with them. And if your shit is real, you don't really need no excuses. If anybody tries to come with you with some bullshit, you can stand on firm, solid ground because you are doing something that's based on truth, not based on brainwashing. I mean, if it's real. Another thing I want to address is the mythical "I hate white people" black person that everybody keeps referring to. I keep hearing this, and you're going to hear this every time you do anything or say anything that is about the interest of your own people. So I want to clear this up once and for all on YouTube. And maybe if anybody comes at you with this, you can, reference back to this video. The vast majority of black people here in America are not black nationalists. The majority of black people here in America do not have knowledge of self and knowledge of their history and their culture. The majority of black people here in America do not hate the white race. In fact, the demographic of black people who do are so small and insignificant, it isn't even worth mentioning, and pales in comparison to the vast majority of black people in America who endorse and co-sign integration. Think about it. If black nationalists are preaching anti-white hatred, why do you think it is so difficult to rally black people around this mythical hatred of the white man and mobilize them into some type of political movement? The reality is it doesn't exist. And I'm going to tell you what the hate whitey tactic is about. It's an attempt, once again, for certain white people to place themselves at the center of our universe and arrogantly assume every action we engage in is a reaction to them instead of an action on our own part to work in our own self-interest and not in theirs. That's all. So the reality is that the masses endorse the integrationist philosophy. So if the black America is fucked up, so to speak, shouldn't the blame lie squarely on their shoulders and not on the shoulders of this mystical, magical, I hate white people, I'm going to blame white people for every ill in the black community so I don't have to do nothing demographic? I mean, come on. If you make up the majority of the ideological perspective of the people, then wherever we are right now is your fault. We haven't tried black nationalism on a whole, on a collective. We haven't made a collective decision. We made a collective decision to walk down the integrationist path. And now we are where we are because of it. So, if you don't believe in black nationhood, shut the fuck up. Bottom line. I want to say peace to Thug Titian, and I'm out. One.